Zdravo, my name is Lea-Marie Hackl. I'm from Vienna, Austria, and I'm 18 years old. And I'm working currently as an EVS here in Maribor. So it's a cycling organization. It's called Mariborska Kolesarska Mreža. It's mostly about cycling, as the name says. We have, for example, bike rentals for tourists. We have also seasonal bike rent, mostly for Erasmus students. Then we have, we do bike services, we recycle bikes. We have also a bike kitchen. That's maybe interesting for people who don't know that. It's a self-repair community space. We are a cycling organization, though the bigger picture, what we like to transfer is sustainable mobility, and we also do events on that topic. I'm passionate about cycling, but for me it was more important, or the actual reason I chose this organization is because I'm interested in environment protection and issues like climate change, air pollution and stuff like that. And since this organization is in that field, and as far as I know there are not so many organizations in the environmental field, I'm really happy to have gotten that place. I would really like to continue in this field actually, if I would have the opportunity to. I mean, as far as I know, it's not so easy to get into NGOs because they don't have so many jobs, unfortunately. But if there is the opportunity, I would really like to. I mean, it would be perfect to work in something that I like and that I'm passionate about. So that's also actually why I wanted to do EVS, to do something I was passionate about and motivated. And the advantage in EVS is that you don't have to worry about the money. And in, let's say, in real life, like if you're working without any support of funds, then you have to think about making a living. So that's unfortunately as it is. I think it's very difficult to imagine, especially for me, since I was a student before I came here. Like I finished school in spring actually, so I didn't have any working experience, and about work in NGOs I didn't have any clue at all. So I think that is why my expectations were quite different from reality, but I don't really remember them. My personal project is doing a cycling map of Maribor, which includes mostly, or which focuses on the NGO and alternative scene. So what I do more specifically is to go to those locations that we chose to include in the map and collect information about them, ask people, and I don't know, like a lot of research on them as well on the internet and stuff. So that's one thing. And the other thing is that I do a video about, it's a video project actually, that I do about the EVS here in Maribor. And it's basically interviewing EVS people. I mean, I do work like a little bit in design. Let's say I learned that here from my colleagues, and I do, for example, design Facebook event covers or stuff like that. So another thing that I do is the German Language Cafe. It's basically for people who have some basics in German, in the German language already, and who want to improve and who want to actually just talk. So it's less about grammar and it's very informal. And I really enjoy doing that, I have to say, and it's really a nice group, and yeah, that's, I think, my favorite activity. So my activities in free time. I enjoy Maribor a lot, I think, and I like to be in the nature as well. I like hiking. You know, like usual stuff, going for a coffee and things like that. I didn't know that Maribor culture and everything was so similar to Austria. So that's maybe what I was mostly shocked about. Not the differences, but the similarities, because I expected much more differences, actually. I mean, of course, you have the language, which is totally different. I have to say that most Slovenes I have met so far were very fluent in the English language. And also an advantage I have as a German speaker is that, and especially in that area, as I have said already, a lot of people speak German, actually, like very well German. Especially older people, they speak it very fluently, and a lot of young people as well learn it in school. Concerning the Slovene language, I'm doing a course now. I hope that until the end of my stay that I'm gonna have at least some basics, and that I'm gonna understand something and have some basic conversation in Slovene. I'm really motivated to learn it all. I think it's a lot of experience, and also if it can't be implemented the same way as I do it here, I'm sure that it serves me for something. Like you also gain not only experience, but self-confidence in yourself, in your skills. So that's a really important part of that whole EVS experience, I think. So, I don't know, I think it's mostly important that you're really motivated and that you are, as I said, passionate about the field and the organization and the people you're going to work with. If that's the case, I think that a volunteer can actually handle most situations. What I mean is also when, for example, the organization is not quite perfect, that the volunteer has to, take initiative and maybe find tasks on his or her own and try to make the best out of it. So I think, yeah, motivation is, I think, the most important aspect.